Hey legends, I'm James Simmons, and today I get a hands-on with the Canon R5. We're going to put it through its paces, set up a few situations which might be typical at a normal wedding, and see how it performs. Dance time, let's go. What I'm doing here is testing the continuous eye focus tracking on moving subjects, right? So we've got them dancing and we're testing to see the accuracy of that autofocus. So I'm shooting wide open to really test that. Snaps back onto her face quite well. It locks onto his eye nicely. I can't even really tell that it's electronic viewfinder. It looks super true to life and the eye tracking is pretty spot on. So what I'm going to test now is using like a slower shutter speed. So we want to capture a bit of blur motion as well as make sure the scene and James is quite sharp. So it's testing out the image stabilizing in camera. Just speed it up to 25th of a second. Pretty damn sharp. And that's at 25th of a second, handheld on the 50mm. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I want to test the low light situation now, I think. That's it, yeah, and just like tilt your heads in, kind of just sink into his nook. So now I'm going to test out the image stabilizer just in a low light situation, which we might get at a wedding, like at a reception, and just see how sharp we can get it wide open and at a 50th of a second. Looking the goods. Now I'm going to push the ISO all the way to 51,200. Let's see what happens. So yeah, a little bit of noise, but that's usable for sure. Yeah, 51,200 ISO, what the hell? So I'm gonna test the autofocus tracking by like moving around with them while they dance and move around. So I'm probably gonna just be looking through the viewfinder in the back of the screen, but pretty much just YOLOing it. Just pointing at them, letting the camera do the work of all the focusing. See how we go. So just being able to move around, that really tracked super well. It was locking onto Lisa's eye when it could, and then changing to their faces when they were a bit further away, and now I'm puffed. So what I'm going to test now is the speed of the frame rate and the autofocus when it's getting confused with little bits of confetti. So we're going to flick the frame rate over to full speed and see if we can make a crazy GIF or something. 3, 2, 1, go. I just took about 100 frames consecutively with no lag. The thing's a beast. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Bit of swaying action, just try and push him over a little bit. Faster, 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 faster. Shooting it wide open this lens, which is 2.8. And yeah, there's not one frame in that sequence that's out of focus. That's insane. So we're just going to test the autofocus and the frame rate again here, just with a bit of a fun shot. Something that happens at a lot of weddings, a little champagne celebration. 3200, f4, 400th of a second. Woo! So we're also testing the weather sealing. Is that the cork? That's the cork. So that whole sequence, the guys are pin sharp. It's fantastic. Look at him. Just tuck into Lisa's ear, just into that little spot again. So I'm just using my single point focus here. And just want to get real close now. Sure, I can move this screen now. I can finally do these overhead shots and be like, yep, no worries, I've got this. How good's the screen not being able to do this? Love it. After putting this thing through its paces in a few situations that are similar to setups you might get at a wedding, I can say that this thing is awesome. It's nailing focus on moving subjects in low light with an incredible frame rate. So it's just going to be an all-round great camera to use at a wedding. I'll take 2.
name's David Smith. I'm a DP here in Los Angeles. I'm usually looking, can I put the camera low? Can I put it high? Can I put it on a small jib arm? Can I get the camera in interesting and strange places to maximize its small form factor? Having an articulating viewfinder means that I can still frame a shot and work in those awkward spots. The S1H so far has really proven itself to be a really capable shooter. I'm almost thinking of it as the VariCam Micro. The color performance, the dynamic range, I would put up against any cinema camera that's out there. The flexibility that this large sensor gives us, doing a crop, a 4K crop within the 6K image, and then I can actually follow action through the frame digitally that I would never be able to achieve manually.
My name's Carissa Dorson. I'm a cinematographer based in Los Angeles. The S1H looks really beautiful, especially with the 6K full frame. The fact that this camera is so small actually has been great because we're doing gimbal work, and the gimbal that we have is pretty heavy on its own. I've filmed with the VariCam, and I also own an EVA1, and from what I can tell, I can't tell the difference. The S1H is great to add to the mix if you're matching with those cameras.
My name is Jacob Schwartz. I'm a filmmaker based in Pleasant Grove, Utah. For me, I've always loved full-frame imagery, and now I have the ability to do that in a video format that also shoots 4K, 422 10-bit. It's just a game changer for me. We wanted to find places like here where we have a lot of very fine details that we can capture and see how the camera can handle and put up with it. Having a camera that has dual native ISO built in, 640 ISO native and 4000 native, it allows us to, in any circumstance, wherever we're shooting, capture the images we want. It's been an incredible tool for us.
I'm Nick Davis. I'm a New York City DP. I love the color science of this camera. You actually have 14.5 stops in 10-bit 422, which is very correctable. It's very gradable. Whatever the engineers did is awesome. It doesn't look like a DSLR. I want it to be super lightweight, so 50% of the shoot we used handheld in-body stabilization. I would never take a 30-pound camera 100 feet up in an oil tanker. One of the features I really like about the S1H, the weather sealing. We shot in the rain. It was literally pouring. It's not special effects. That's all real lightning, real rain. The camera helped me reach places that I couldn't reach before.
When I first picked up a camera, it was solely about taking photos. So much has changed since then. Yet somehow, not much has. I'm still heavily drawn to the road. In hot pursuit of the next adventure with my close friends. It's that loose whatever the day brings type of an agenda, the kind I can't get enough of. All that action is polarized by solitary moments, chasing wildlife, documenting the subtleties and beauties of nature. You got the photo. I crave that insulated feeling of quiet concentration when I'm shooting. My camera has changed immensely since the day I picked one up. Today it's a tool of true multimedia, a fraction of the size from what it once was, and way more powerful. My workflow has me constantly bouncing between photo and video, tormenting myself with the question, do I snap a photo or film this?
I should actually take a picture of that too.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's a welcoming dilemma, and the truth is, it's helped me to evolve creatively. Weight matters, speed matters, and durability is mandatory when you're working in harsh and uncomfortable conditions.
Oh yeah, this looks really great.
I go to great lengths to get on location, and my camera needs to endure every one of these elements. That's where the Z6 steps in. The last thing I can afford to do is miss a moment. I have a soft spot for nostalgia. It's ultimately what drew me to the camera in the first place. To take those fleeting moments with me along the ride. To relive them and share them with others later. It's my greatest driving force.